Hi everyone, so this is my second week recap of my exchange year. This week was the first full week of school. My schedule is pretty packed, but I mind my business for most of the lessons since, you know, they're conducted in Chinese and I don't speak Chinese yet. So obviously, I spend most of my time either studying law, which is a subject that I study in Italy, or just reading books or drawing or just, minding my business because I can't really understand what they're talking about in class. The only class that I actually understood, obviously, was English class, but from next week, I will not be doing it because it's on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And on Tuesdays, I get out of school at 11 because I have my Chinese course at a university, and I need to have the time to get there. So I get out earlier and I don't get to do the lesson. And then on Wednesdays, I don't stay in class for the last 3 hours of school, but I go to another class, so I do ceramics, which is very fun. We're doing a teapot right now, which is very, very fun, even though like for most of the lesson I kept almost falling asleep because again, it's very quiet, that class, because we're just 6 students and the teacher. But again, it's in Chinese, so I don't really understand what they're saying, so it's quite boring for me. But I really like actually, doing pottery or ceramics. I don't really know the difference. I don't even know if there's a difference between pottery and ceramics. But, anyways. So, let's but one thing, even if I don't really speak Chinese, I really like my classmates. Even if I don't speak their language and they don't speak English, because most of my classmates don't speak English, they still try to find ways to talk to me, to have me join what they do, which is something that in Italy, where I have basically the same school background as them, where I was born and raised in the same country and the same even city, because most of my classmates in Italy have been raised in the city that I live in. I've never had that with them. And the fact that I had to go to the other side of the world to find people and find the class where I actually fit into. I don't know if that's more telling of our school system in Italy or the people in Italy, because really, I've never felt like I was part of a class when I was in Italy, and I've been here for a week, and I feel more like I'm part of the class than how I've ever felt in any of the classes I've been in Italy. And it's very sad because I don't think I should have to go to the fucking other side of the world to find a class where I'm not the weird one. Well, maybe I am for them, but they don't treat me like the weird one. I actually speak to people. In Italy, I'm scared of speaking to people because I feel like they're going to judge me because I see how they look at me. And maybe it's just all in my head. But there's a reason it's in my head, because fucking God, I don't know. But it's so sad that I had to go to another country, in another continent even, to find people in my class where I actually feel like I'm part of the class and it's not the class plus me. Because that's how I've always felt in Italy. In Italy, it's always been, oh yeah, the class and me. I've always been the odd one out, if we can say that. So, it's just sad to me. Because what the actual fuck? I mean, for real, like, I've had to go to Taiwan to find people in my class that actually come up to me and talk to me. There's literally this girl, which is the sweetest girl ever. We've known each other for one day, for Friday, and then I come back on Monday. She's here, she's there, greeting me in class, calling me dear. She gifted me a fucking ring because I said that I like that ring. She's gifting me candies and stuff, which I've never gotten a single gift, even for my birthday, from one of my classmates. I've been here for a week and this girl has known me for one day. And she's already nicer than most of the classmates I've ever had. And that's kind of sad, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's life, I guess. Can't even cry about it. Well, on another side, even if I do really like being here, I still feel sad at times because coming here has made me realize how alone I truly am. I've always liked being alone, being on my own. At home, I'm mostly in my room. At school, again, I'm mostly on my own because people don't really talk to me. Maybe because I'm weird, but like, either way. I've always thought that I like it, but being here, I realize how truly alone I am. Because here, I don't speak the same language as them. They barely speak the only language that we both know to communicate. They don't speak my language, I don't speak theirs, and they barely speak English. And it's not their fault, obviously. I'm the one that's here. I'm the one that needs to learn their language, obviously, not the other thing. But still, it has made me realize how I've never been truly alone in Italy. Well, I may have felt like it, because, you know, being on your own a lot, you feel like you're alone. But truly, I've never been alone. Because even in school, even if I don't have a lot of friends, there are at least 2 classmates of mine that talk to me. I see them as my friends. Maybe they just truly hate me and feel too bad for me because I don't speak to anyone else. And they're like, oh, I don't really want to, like, you know, crush your heart. And, like, yeah. And at home, if I feel alone and I want to talk to someone, I have my mother. Like, I can get out of my room and go talk to my mother. Here, I don't have anyone. Here, I am truly on my own, which is weird because I always felt like I was alone. But then you come here where no one speaks anything that you can speak to them with. And you realize how you've never been alone, because I've always had people that talk to me. Here I have basically no one. I don't know, it's just weird. But yeah, I guess I've never really known what actually being alone meant. And yeah, it's weird. It's a weird feeling. And I don't really like it as much as I thought I did. Because again, I was never truly alone. Yep, never. Ever in my life. Yeah. But like, other than that, really, my classmates are very good. Yeah, one very funny thing happened. One of my classmates came up to me and was like, hey, what race are you? I was like, what the actual fuck? Because, like, I mean, let's be for real for a second. You don't really ask someone what their race is, but, I mean, they don't speak English. He used the translator, so that's the translator that translated it to race instead of ethnicity, so I can understand that. But I mean, look at me. I don't think I look anything else other than white. I don't think I look black or Asian or Latino or something else. I think I'm like kind of the definition of white. Like, give me blonde hair and I'm the kind of woman that the man with the mustache would have liked. So like, that was very weird. That was a very interesting question to have been asked. I've never been asked such question, and it was very fun. But yeah, that was my school week, and then on the weekend it was very nice. On Saturday I went out to dinner with my family and my Rotary counselor. And God, I'm speaking so fast and losing breath. And my counselor, and basically she's a very nice woman. I really like her. She has lived in Switzerland, I think, if I remember correctly, it was Switzerland and America, or was there others? Well, anyways, and she has lived on other places in the world, and yeah, she was very cool, very sweet. She was also very interested in learning like how my life is in Italy, which is nice. I like it. And then on Sunday, the last day of the week, me and the other exchange students went to the Taipei Zoo, which it was so sad because I don't know if something was happening and we just didn't know because, you know, we're kind of not from here. And like most of like the cages were closed, or at least didn't have the animals in them. And I was so sad because like I've been to zoo once when I was like 6 or 7, and the only thing I remember about that zoo is the tarantulas, because I've always been scared of spiders. And I just remember that my mother or my brothers wanted me to see the fucking tarantulas, and I was so scared. I was terrified because I hate spiders. They're scary. They're ugly. No, they're not ugly. They're very cute. I'm just scared of them because I don't know. I just don't like insects. I'm scared of ants, and they're like this, not like this. Like, I don't know. It was so sad. But after that, we went to a night market, and it was very fun. We were a lot of people, so like by the time we went away, we had actually like became from a group like this, because, you know, probably people went away earlier or people wanted to go away later. So, you know, very funny like that. And one of my friends wanted me this cute little thing, this cute little shark plushie. And I really like sharks. They're very pretty. Look at this little guy. Isn't he so cute? Look at this little guy. It's so cute. I love it. Love him. I also gave him a name, which is Ron. And no, just to be clear, it's not because I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. So it's not that Ron. It's just another thing in my life. And I'm not going to tell you. It's a secret. Like, yeah, look at this little guy. So cute. I love it. Love him. Also, another thing that I want to make clear. I paid for it. My friend just threw the darts, because my aim is non-existent. So my friend threw the darts and I paid. So he just won it. I paid for it, just to be clear, okay? But like, yeah, it was very fun. I really liked this week. Even if it's still strange, you know, living in someone else's house who you don't really know, and eating their food, drinking their drinks, drinking their water, and, you know, this kind of stuff. It's still kind of weird, but I really like it. And I like, right now, I don't really want to go back. So yeah, this was my second week here, and I hope you have a great day. Yeah, bye bye.